Operator's log, 28th of September, 57. I knew Dr. Holder was up to something. It's no secret he's been frustrated with the direction of our research, but this takes the biscuit. Last night, Edward let slip the secret lab Holder had set up in Wyndham Village, under the church, apparently. Of all places. For a month, he's been stealing samples, running out lab equipment, and all this cold activity. Worst of all, Edward knew because he was planning to join him. Holder's got himself a little rogue scientist brigade. I managed to convince Edward to give me a key to the place. Once this fever is down, I'll march over and confront Holder myself.
What are you doing? Trying to help you, Dr. Fisher. Now stay still.
No! 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 Get that away from me, Alan! It's not... It's not tested.
It'll save your bloody life. The infection's tearing you apart, trust me.
Get away! Keep your experiments to yourself.
Fisher!
Dead. An actual murder. About time something instant happened around here.
I feel like I'm a detective in an Agatha Christie.
What? The active bat killer?
You what?
Those murders a few years back in Notting Hill.
Slowly now. Come into the light where I can see you. Wait, who the blazes are you? I know every face on the project, and you're not one of them. How did you know I was down here? You found it in... You mean to say you were inside the interchange? Just how did you get in there? They sealed the place tight. You found one. Just found a keycard. I believe you. It's so ludicrous that I searched to no avail. Will you just find one? Too ludicrous to be untrue. The interchange. Open again after all this time. Astonishing. I thought it was sealed for good, and its contents forever out of reach. But look, do you realize what this means? If you have access to the interchange, then we might be able to stop this nightmare before it spreads beyond the wall. "5 years. And now so little time left. I'm sorry. You're perfectly right, of course. You have not a reason in the world to trust me at such short acquaintance. Yet the fact remains. You must. So much depends upon it. We first discovered the growth at the Oberon site. I was one of the team assigned to study it. You know, first we thought it was benign. Beneficial even, according to the early results. In our experiments, small doses of the growth in a purified form showed the most astonishing effect on cognitive capability. But it was not purified nearly enough, as it transpired. Its active agent was much more active than we realized. What it was doing to both our bodies and our minds all the while, it beggars imagination. We thought we held the future in a test tube. But all we had isolated was evil in its purest form. You can see why I must keep myself hidden away down here. Yes, it's under control, but I'll never be entirely free of it. Thanks to this apparatus, I found a way to inoculate myself, halting the infection before it could fully establish itself. If my colleagues had shown more faith in my line of experimentations, well, we wouldn't be where and what we are now. But look, we have so little time. I desperately need your help. I need you to go back to the medical facility, and this time go deeper, all the way down to the quarantine level. Somewhere in there is a sealed cylinder. It's labeled Sample 1. Find it and bring it here to do that, and I can promise answers. Answers and a way out of here. Here's my keycard. It will get you deeper into the medical sector. Before you go, you should help yourself to a dose of my inoculant. There's one lying around here somewhere. If you ever encounter a thick area of growth, or are suffering from a potent strain of the infection, that stuff will ease the burden. It should give you a better chance of surviving infested areas. And with any luck, it will silence the voices in your head. Best of luck.
Attention! Prisoner Gallo has escaped from the detention facility.
blazes happened just now? Who declared quarantine?
Dr. Holder.
Dr. Garrow? Is that you? Where are you?
Alan, listen to me.
Diane, where are you? Is this your doing? We're locked in.
There was an explosion. We have to...
Had to what? Where are you, Diane?
We're on the evacuation convoy. I'm sorry, Alan. There was no time.
It's time for us to restore. Get the instrument. It's time for us to get the and don't forget.
The substation is now off limits to all citizens and enlisted men.
Time is of the essence. With any luck, Sample 1 will still be hidden away in the medical facility. You found the sample? But this is wonderful. For the first time in years, there's hope. A true, viable hope. Those used to be some of the finest minds in the country. Country be damned in the world. My colleagues, trapped there when the laboratory was sealed. Now I need to get to work on this sample. This alien muck has vulnerabilities, but taking advantage of them is difficult. But I can see you're curious and you've earned some answers, should you want them. Is there anything that you want to know? It is abominable. Plainly extraterrestrial, voracious and implacable. At first, the top brass was excited by the potential it showed. In small doses, it seemed to accelerate our ability to learn to a remarkable degree. Your mind expanded. As if you had a connection to lost knowledge that you had somehow forgotten and were simply rediscovering it. But then, some of us started to change. We barely had time to start coming to terms with it. The explosion at the Oberon site came just days later. The quarantine was declared, and they trapped us in the lab. They left us for dead. Our own colleagues. It's an official secret, for all the weight that carries now. Oberon is the code name for the meteorite they found buried here. It was uncovered just after the war, during the evacuation of new slate mine workings. That discovery was the reason they built this whole circus here. I dearly wish it had remained undisturbed. The rock itself contained remarkable minerals, instrumental in the creation of the atomic batteries, and all the other marvels you've no doubt already encountered. But they drilled too deep into Oberon. And, at its core, discovered organic matter. That was Sample 1. A team of biologists, myself included, were assigned to analyze it. But the Oberon investigative team drilled too deep. There was some sort of violent and highly energetic feedback that collapsed part of the plant and triggered the quarantine. That was in 1957. You mean, why am I still trapped in the medical section? We didn't know it at the time, but there was a breach towards the back of the lab. Thanks to my experimental inoculation, I was able to resist the infection, to keep my own personality and intellect intact. I escaped through the tunnels under the lab. The only place I could think of to hide was there. When it seemed there was more to this growth than the BARD top brass wanted to admit, some of my colleagues and I decided to set up a very unofficial lab. This is it. It was hard work carting all this gear undetected, but we managed it. The vicar agreed to let us use the crypt for storage years ago, before the disaster. We made a small donation. To the church, you understand. And he didn't ask any questions after that. Now, I need to get to work on turning this sample active but toxic. A biological time bomb, if you will. In the meantime, there's something else you may be able to help me with. In return, I can assure you a route out of here. That's the deal. Sometimes, at night, I go up to the church tower and listen to the sentries chatting down below. I've heard some chatter that suggests my old colleague, Dr. Garrow, came back into the zone. I hear that Garrow somehow escaped from the soldiers' prison. That was your doing, I presume. Please tell me where she is. I very much need to see her. It's vitally important. I never thought I'd get the chance to see her again. It's vital I see her about something before we can leave. Of course. I might have known. Thank you. I'll finish my work here, and then make my way to her.
Attention. The site of the recent control room on malfunction is off limits to all citizens. Remember, radiation is the invisible killer.
Hello, is somebody in here? Good Lord, I can hardly believe it. Alan Holder. Alive and kicking. After all these years. If there's one thing...
Are you just gonna stand there? What is it you want?
Oh, like that, is it? Very well.
That. My apologies. I'm very sorry that you had to be here for that. I know what you must be thinking, but Garrow is not innocent in this. She doomed the whole project with her recklessness. And when the chickens came home to roost, she trapped us and saved her own neck. She left us to die as if we were an embarrassment. Witness to the horror created by her hubris. Somebody had to do this, and I'm the last one left. Suggesting no, stating yeah. When the alien growth was discovered, we needed time to assess the repercussions. We didn't get it. She fobbed us off and pressed on with the excavation. Then surveys of the mineral at Oberon suggested a possible explosive release of energy, if not treated with caution. But Garrow, she pushed for the mining to continue. She even tampered with the quarantine itself, though to what end I cannot tell you. But none of that matters now. She's gone, and we're not. We must turn our attention to what lies in front of us. To be back in this place is the last thing I was expecting. It's monumentous. It's a miracle. Now finally we can finish all this. The last step is simple. I have the sample now laced with my toxin. You'll need to find a way to spread it to the source of the growth, into Oberon itself. It must go in at the root to poison the whole organism. Using the poison sample is the only way we can be sure of killing Oberon. We have to be sure. Do you understand? We have to be certain. Excellent. Here, take this sample. Take the poison sample to the Oberon site. Restoring power to the interchange will gain you access to the Windscale plant and Oberon. But once you use the toxic sample, things will get hot out here quickly. We'll need to escape as soon as is humanly possible. If you have anything else to attend within the zone, I suggest you do that before then.